Hey, welcome back. This is Brett, the Hoosier Carnivore. Making this video today to talk about the holidays coming up and the challenges that us carnivores are bound to face in the upcoming months. Stay tuned. All right, as you can see, I got Big Joe back here fired up. Gonna make some pork chops tonight for the family. And just wanted to give you my thoughts on the holidays coming up and the challenges that we're going to face with Thanksgiving, well, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and, whatever holidays that you and your family and your friends celebrate this time of year. There's all kinds of different holidays that get celebrated, and most of them involve food. So I came up with a few ways here to maybe help you out. Few tips. I think these should be good for just about anyone doing keto, carnivore, ketovore, whatever you're trying to do to try to stay on track through the next couple months. So my first one is remember your why. Remember why you're doing this. Remember who you're doing it for. If it's not for you personally, maybe it's for your kids, for your spouse, or maybe, it's just to help you feel better. But just remember your why and try to keep that in the front of your mind, as you go forward and you see that big bucket of Halloween candy, their big dessert layout for Thanksgiving with all kinds of pies and cakes and cookies and all the treats and candies that are made through the holidays. Just try to remember your why and keep that in the front of your mind. So when you're tempted, maybe that gives you just that little bit of extra strength to say, no, not this year, maybe next year. Two, and this one, and 2 and 3 kind of go together, is to make a plan. If you don't have a plan, then you're just planning to fail. And part of that plan is telling someone about the plan. So that's kind of 2 and 3 together. I think telling someone about your plan will, one, it will put the word out there that you have a plan and that you need a plan. And you telling someone you have this plan, it kind of puts a little bit of weight back on you. It puts some responsibility on you because you've told people and there are expectations out there. So, it's good, because it will help you keep that little promise to yourself and, going into this holiday maybe with a little bit of a renewed focus. Tell your spouse, tell your friends, if you're doing this by yourself, you're not by yourself. You've got the carnivore and keto community out there. Tell someone out there in the community, someone you maybe communicate with or chat with, and tell that, because it will give you a higher level of accountability to yourself. And part of making that plan, I made some notes here. Plan to either, abstain from having anything through the holidays. Maybe plan on having one treat per party. Maybe just plan on, you're just going to set your diet aside and pig out. I hope that's not what you do, but I'll tell you what my plan is. So my plan for Halloween is completely abstaining from all candy and sweets. I did that last year, and I'm going to do it again this year. Last year I just kind of made a choice. I wasn't really doing keto or carnivore, but I just kind of made the choice to not have any kind of candy. And I'm going to do that again this year. Just no candy, especially if you're someone who can't moderate. Eating like one piece of candy is going to be almost impossible. So my plan, no candy. Plan for Thanksgiving, I'm going to have one piece of pumpkin pie. And this goes out to my niece. You know who you are. You make pumpkin pie every year for the family get together for Thanksgiving. And she grows her own little pumpkins that she uses to make the pie. And it's the best pumpkin pie you could ever hope to have. It's just wonderful. And I am going to have one piece of my niece's pumpkin pie on Thanksgiving. And if she brings it to Christmas, I'll probably have one for Christmas too. But one piece of pie, that's good enough for me. I'll stick with meat and stick on carnivore for everything else. But for Thanksgiving, that's going to be my one thing. And that's my plan, and that's what I'm going to stick to. And I'm making a little vow to you guys that I'm going to stick to it. So that's what I'm going to do. This is number 4. This one might be a little controversial, might be a little hard to do, but don't worry about insulting your host. If you go somewhere for Thanksgiving, to grandma's house, your parents' house, a friend's house, wherever it is you go, don't feel obligated to eat everything. And at the same time, don't feel guilty about not having everything. I know that's kind of a fine line to draw, but you know, this is your journey. You're the captain of your own ship. And if you make a plan, stick to that plan. And, you know, don't worry about, you know, hurting someone's feelings. I doubt that'll happen anyway, but I just wanted to, you know, put that out there. Don't feel obligated, and don't feel guilty that you don't have a little bit of everything. Oh, hey, there's Hazel Dog. Hazel says hi. So when they ask, you know, if somebody at the party asks, how come you only have all meat on your plate? Or aren't you going to have some sweet potatoes or some green bean casserole? Or, you know, whatever it is, just enjoy and show appreciation for what you do have. You know, thank them for what they made and how delicious it is, and how, you know, much that you're enjoying it. And we'll get to maybe why you're not having some of those things in a later tip. Number 5, stack up the meat. So when the time comes and you're at Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever holiday party you're at, stack up the meat. Fill up on meat first. Get all the meats, deviled eggs, whatever's in your carnivore plan, and eat all of that. And then if you do decide to have a treat like me having the pumpkin pie, I'm going to have that at the very last thing. Because if you eat it first, your body will process that first and you'll get more of a blood sugar spike. But if you're already filled up on meat stuff and then you have a little bit of something sweet, you know, it doesn't impact you nearly as bad as if you eat that thing first. So stack up the meat. That's tip number 5. Also, drink lots of water. Number 6, if it gets to be too much, if the temptations are just too much, remove yourself from the party. Go outside. If the party's outside, go inside. Maybe just even, you know, go to the bathroom and just, you know, take a minute. Look yourself in the mirror. Try to renew your focus. Harness your chi. Whatever it is you do. Just try to remove yourself from the temptation and just take a minute to gather your strength and to refocus. Refocus on your why, refocus on your plan. Just take a minute because, you know, there's going to be some temptations and you're going to get possibly triggered by certain foods. I know one of my triggers is I have a tough time saying no when there's a big spread, a big public spread, and there's a food out there for everybody. And I tend to try to, I'll eat too much, or I may, have a little something I shouldn't. So, if that gets to be too much for me, or I feel like I'm losing my focus, maybe just step out of the room for a minute. Number 7, take your own salt. Maybe even take your own butter if you think that they're only going to have margarine or some other thing. At least have it handy. Maybe keep it in the car or some other place. Take your Redmond's real salt if that's what you use, or your Himalayan pink salt or kosher salt or whatever it is you use. Take that with you, and that can be kind of your keto carnivore talisman, your little reminder. Hey, I got my Redmond salt here. It's a little reminder that this is what I'm doing. Might help you, might not, but it couldn't hurt to take your own stuff. So, in review, I want you to remember, number 1, remember your why. Remember to make a plan, take somebody, and then tell somebody about your plan. Failing to plan is planning to fail. Number 4, don't worry about insulting the host. I know you're going to insult him anyway, but again, don't feel obligated to have everything, and don't feel guilty that you don't. Number 5, stack up the meat. Enough said. Number 6, if you feel overwhelmed, go outside, take a break, remove yourself from the party, even if it's just for a minute. Number 7, take your own salt, take your own butter, have it there with you if you need it. And bonus tip, try to psych yourself up a little bit. Maybe while you're in the car, before you go inside, before the party starts, or maybe before you leave to go to the party, kind of psych yourself up. Go over the plan. Think about the plan. Talk about the plan. Just take a minute. Maybe call somebody. Call one of your fellow carnivores. Go over the plan. Saying, hey, I'm getting ready to go in here, and just wanted to say, wish me luck. So, just give yourself a little bit of a pep talk. And then the last thing, bonus tip, should you tell people that you're doing carnivore? It's probably going to come up. Going back to, why don't you have green beans casserole? Why don't you have candied yams? Or why don't you have this or that? Why don't you have a big plate full of dessert? Don't you like dessert? Don't you like my pumpkin pie? And have a plan to talk about or not talk about what you're doing. Some people feel comfortable talking about carnivore or keto, and I would say know your audience. You may take the stance to where you just tell people, I'm on an elimination diet. I mean, Carrie from Homestead House says that all the time. I'm just on an elimination diet. Or you can just say, I'm just trying to watch what I eat. I'm trying to watch my carbs. I think most people understand that. Everybody pretty much knows what keto is. So if you say, hey, I'm trying keto and I'm just, trying to cut back and watch what I eat, and just be respectful. And I think people will be respectful of you and your choices. And then if you want to go full blown in and you've lost a bunch of weight and people can see that you're having success, go ahead and talk about carnivore. Just know your audience. Nobody wants to get into a dieting argument with their family during the holidays. So, and one last thing I wanted to hit on at the end, what to do after the holidays. So what I'm going to do here on my channel is we're going to do another fasting challenge. So New Year's Day, I'm going to start a 7-day fasting challenge for the first 7 days of 2024. It's going to be a water-only fast. I invite you to join me. If you've got a YouTube channel, I invite you to join in. We'll make some videos. We'll maybe do some live interviews. We'll talk about stuff, and we'll maybe see how many people we can get, how many different channels we can get. We're in this together as a community, and I think this would be a great idea to have everybody get together, There were a lot of people that did the 5-day fasting challenge about a month ago when Carrie from Homestead How did one with Jeff Postrous and Bill Knott and a bunch of other people joined in. So I think it'd be a great time to, after the holidays, have a little renewed focus and do a 7-day water-only fast. The last one was 5. This one will be 7. If you can do 5, you can do 7, right? Right. It's not that tough. And who's your carnivore for this video? I got the idea for doing this video from Ellie at Nourishment Redacted. She just did a 5 tips video that was really good. And Alia just did a video too with her tips for staying focused on carnivore. And I just want to thank those two for their work in the carnivore community. Look forward to meeting Alia in Chicago on 11/11. Can't wait for that. There's going to be so many carnivores there. So just want to give a shout out to those 2 channels. I'll put theirs in the description. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. And please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And we'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.